What a Sunday morning in a new setup, in new style, but with the evergreen young man. My mother still has a crush on you, by the way.
Oh, really?
Yeah, you want to say hi to her?
Yeah. Hi, Mom. How are you doing?
You also called her mom.
No. Out of respect, bro.
Ravi Shastri, welcome.
Pleasure.
This is Ravi. I am Raunak. And I need to be asking you right now, how has week one of the IPL been for you? I saw you on the opening day. Even before a ball was bowled, you know you were trending, no?
Why is that?
Because when you gave us the epic Ravi Shastri toss, you went,
I know where you're going.
Chennai
I know
Super
where you're
Kings
going.
and Gujarat.
It was a titanic effort to call Gujarat Titans Gujarat Giants.
You saw Hardik's face behind
I
you?
know that.
Yeah.
You get these brain fades. It's okay.
That's awesome. And you know, the Gujarat Giants calls you their biggest fan. Because
Really?
you were having a WPL hangover and they said, yeah.
The meaning is almost the same, but it's your job to pronounce the right names.
I love it.
Toss.
No, I love it.
But the Titans came back. So when it finished, it was the Titans have won the toss and decided first.
How was your last week? I believe you were away.
I did a couple of games, then I took off because it was those Easter vacations for my daughter, and this thing I booked a place in Kabini. I like the game reserves, yes, and I went and met my old mate after a long time.
Who's that?
I call him His Highness Nawab Saab Saad bin Jung.
Oh, really? How's he doing?
He's fine. He's in fine fettle. Jung Saab is doing extremely well, so it was a good laugh over the last 3 days. He's got a great pad, the Bison. I heard Mitch Marsh's nickname is the Bison. He ought to go there. He ought to get to Kabini, the game reserve.
Bison and the Bison.
Bison meets the Bison.
We're going to send this link to Saad.
Of course, you got to send it to Saad. And I think he's done a great job. I believe the Prime Minister is today in Bandipur, not far from Kabini, promoting wildlife, promoting, the endangered species, the cat. So a cricketer going out and doing that, it's great stuff. And he's done it single-handedly, I think, with his family. And it's a good sport. I'm not promoting it, but it's something that it's worth going to. It doesn't need promoting.
I love my wildlife. Yeah,
it doesn't need promoting. Awesome. It's good to get away, especially for these cricketers as well.
Yeah.
I'm not saying a game reserve in particular. Get out. Yeah. When you get a break, that's where you got to go. Get into the jungle,
Did you spot anything though? Sightings?
No, the weather changed. It started raining a bit there. So you didn't see the cats, but a lot of other stuff, the wild dogs, the elephants.
The good thing is that they spotted you. Yeah. Right? So you would have probably going through the jungle and saying, no, that's not the leopard.
No, that's what Saad said. He said the big cats arrived, so the others have gone.
Yeah. It can happen, those people with their cameras ready to swipe and they say like, we can't say anything, but Ravi Shastri's in a jeep. They would have sort of. Did you ever get that?
It happens. Okay. Nothing you can do.
All right. Brilliant. You're back now. And you got quite the game yesterday, the Wankhede. Big build-up, MI CSK.
Yep.
And I'm going to start with CSK because I am in awe of what we're seeing with MS. This is unbelievable.
When I saw him in an earlier game I did, which was in Bangalore. I think it was Bangalore, and
the opening game in Ahmedabad, you saw.
In Ahmedabad, the opening game.
Gave him a nice big hug.
Yeah, when I saw him, I said, you beefed up, man. Become strong. So he's already pumped some muscle. He said, no, nothing. It's just natural. He never goes to that. I've never seen him in the gym, really. Yeah. If he trains, he must be training with the army blokes, and does with the parachuting regiment.
Right, he's got that regiment that he's
and he's always been someone who has remained active, playing active sport. He'll play badminton, he'll play table tennis, you name it, football. He likes to play sport to keep fit, and different sport. And my word, and even last night, that catch down the leg side of Surya.
Yeah.
I mean, just look at the footwork.
Yeah. A lot of young keepers that can.
And he's
no, but this is bizarre.
The evening, if one would say, evening of his career to move like that and take it easily, and then
he's so good with that. No? There's no doubt. There's no two ways.
He gets it right.
He's the boss. But I'm thinking last couple of years when we've seen MS, we've seen signs of aging or hand-eye not quite there. This year, none of that. That six of Mark Wood, even in the first game, couple of sixes to finish the innings against Gujarat, somehow the age and the hand-eye does not seem to match. Is he
He's
just
always
defined?
come across as a natural. There's no coaching manual that has got him to play for India. It's his own manual. It's absolute. It's right out, like a street smart cricketer who's come out from the gullies and straight away entered the Test arena. And the beauty about him, he's not changed anything. He's kept it the same. It's not high left elbow, high head over the ball. I see it, I hit it. From day one till even 3 days ago when he hit those 2 sixes.
He seems in a good space also. Last year we weren't quite sure with this whole Jadeja as captain. We were surprised. We were in the studio together. And you were like, okay, that's interesting. Let's see how it goes. Seems to be in a good space as well.
Seems to be in a good space, but it made it very clear. We made it very clear to his bowlers. Get your act right.
Yeah, that was so good.
I don't want these no balls because I'm not here standing behind and you bowling 4-4-5-5 no balls and me having to captain the side. So his message was pretty strong. And it was pretty clear cut.
You got to love MS. In fact, the more it's going on, you could see the more you're getting when you're listening to him. Otherwise, in the peak of your India career, they tend to give you those standard answers, processes and whatnot. Now suddenly it's more like, this is what I'm thinking and you guys better be ready for
I've
it.
tolerated enough.
Yeah.
I've tolerated enough. I'm not going to go back to the basics. That's your job to get the basics right and then come to this level.
Lovely. That catches Surya. I'm thinking, poor Surya, of all the ways to get out also. And we had a nice chat about this in studio also last night. There's some good comments coming in just that this is such a maverick player, but he's not an organized player, right? If Kohli goes through a bad patch, Rohit goes through a bad patch, they're like, yeah, we know. We'll get a 20-30 and find our way back. Surya, the high was like there, and now suddenly after the 3 ducks, 2 scratchy sort of innings, strangled on the leg side. Poor chap must be thinking, I took do the same thing every time and bloody goes for 6. It's not going only now. What do you think he's going through?
It happens. Just treat it as a phase. I would tell Surya, just back yourself, do the same things, if anything. When the going is good, you take those chances early on. The rub of the green goes your way at times. There'll be an inside edge that misses the stump, so
And
misses
you're away.
leg stump, goes away. Bottom edge, or a difficult half chance that goes to ground. Things don't go your way, then all these things catch up. So, you got to remember these are phases. And he can't see anything worse. 3 first bowlers, then going through what he's going through now. You cannot see worse. So, there's going to be light at the end of the tunnel. Now, he's got to be seeing that very soon. And when he sees it, he's got to grab it and make the most of it. So, the advice to him would be, if any needed, would be just give yourself a little bit of time early on. Even though it's T20 cricket. Just think, and when I say time, it's balls.
Right.
Instead of earlier, you would give yourself not even 1 ball. Give yourself 3. Or at least in the mindset, let me see that. Let me make contact. Bat makes contact with ball. You run a couple of singles. You run between the wickets. And suddenly, things, 1 good hit and you're on your way. And that's what he needs. 1 good hit, a little bit of time at the crease, not 20 minutes, 30 minutes. It's balls. 6 balls, 8 balls. I think he'll be fine.
Okay. So you're not worried that we might have
Absolutely
seen
not.
the highest of highs and now we may not see that again. You think it's just
Absolutely
few
not.
games. All right. Cool. Nice. Different kind of IPL.
No, but coming back to last night,
Yes.
since you mentioned Surya, I loved Ajinkya Rane's innings. I mean, he was our captain in Australia, where I saw one of the greatest overseas hundreds I've seen by an Indian player. That will go right up with the very best you would have seen, simply because of where India were at the start of that innings.
Yeah.
He had taken over as captain. We were 36 all out, and then on Boxing Day to play like that was fantastic. And yesterday, that timing.
How did that happen?
It was a purity of that innings was, just a treat to the eye. Lovely shots, and I'm glad for him because he's such a team man. He's captained India. Whichever franchise or team he plays for, he might not be the captain, but you can be rest assured you will not get a better team man than him.
Yeah,
Even if it comes to carrying water or in the dressing room, helping out someone or speaking to juniors, I think he's a top class example of the way the game should be played.
I keep hearing this phrase, right? Ajinkya's great team man. I don't understand. Who's not a good team man?
No, you can get stubborn guys.
Oh.
The guys who, if they're in the reserves, refuse to do anything. They say, listen, it's not my job.
I'm quickly just
I should be playing.
I'm writing names. Start.
Now, you could get a few, and without naming anyone, you got to, as a coach, I would pull them up straight away.
What was your way of pulling people up? I want to know. Forget names.
Direct. Come on, join. You're not born somewhere else. You born.
You can use colorful language. It's fine.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So what?
No, and you got to do what the others do. You can't be one Tismar Khan come and say मैं अलग से जीऊंगा. ये यहाँ पे नहीं चलेगा. बिल्कुल नहीं चलेगा. It's either you do what the bunch is doing and be fully part of it. Otherwise, we'll tell you where you belong.
Love
साफ बात है.
Love it. I like it. Interesting new IPL. Impact player. We've seen a bit of it. The wides and etc. being reviewed. Josh Butler put a tweet out, said, let's just hurry things up. If you were an umpire, is that job on you to hurry the game up?
It's not easy. I think this will need to be reviewed. I know it's early days, but this will have to be reviewed in the future because even when it goes upstairs to the third umpire, if it's half an inch or 3/4 inch here or there, he's going to watch it. He's going to see it 3 times.
Yeah.
Because he wants to get it right. So obviously time is going to be wasted. And this is a fast game. Why has the game evolved from test cricket to 50-over cricket to 20-over cricket? Who knows in the future 10-10? But what I'm saying is the attention span of people watching the game is getting lesser and lesser and lesser. Yes, people still love test cricket. They love that format of the game. The connoisseurs would love that, to see that. But if you look at the generation that comes and watches T20 cricket, it's a very young generation. And it's people from everywhere, Like you see the advertising industry, the film industry, you see people of all sorts coming to watch IPL. A lot of young people. Yeah, since you've done your hair, you can qualify in that young brigade too.
My attention span is very good.
Over there. Yeah.
Like the kids also.
Correct.
So you have to keep it quick.
You've got to make it quick. So you sometimes think, why don't you just leave it to the umpire on the field? I mean, we've seen over the years, cricket's been played for close to...
Yeah. Did you ever get so fast if you got a bad white call?
No, not
so
at
it's
all.
okay with a few mistakes.
It's a few mistakes. He's human. You give a bad leg before decision or a bad caught behind as well. So, wide will be the least of, the least upsetting for a player out there. Unless it's 1 run to win and then there's a wide, which can happen. Like it happened in a test match now in New Zealand, which was debatable. Whether it was a wide, not a wide, things of that sort. So that can happen. But to go upstairs and waste 5, 7, 8 minutes is something that will have to be reviewed in the future.
Let's take some questions, shall we? We put out a hashtag Ask Ravi on our social media, and let's take some of the best ones we've got. Okay, let's start with Ambarish. He says, is the rule of having impact player detrimental for the emergence of all-rounders in India? With this rule, teams won't bowl the likes of a Deepak Hooda, or a Tilak Verma or upcoming Indian all-rounders, which may not help Indian cricket in the long run. Thoughts?
That's a very good point. It's a both sahi kaha. It's a good observation. But a good all-rounder will always play, like Jadeja last night. He's going to walk into the side, irrespective, and he's going to do both. He's going to bat at number 6, and he's going to bowl. So a genuine all-round, yes. The bits and pieces might struggle. You know what's bits and you know what's pieces, right?
I know, but people get a very different idea. You tell me what your idea of bits is.
Where a bits and pieces is half here, half there. You got to be dominant. Like if you're in the side where you're guaranteed going to bowl 3 overs, game after game, and when you bat, you got to bat in the top 6. Then you can qualify as an all-rounder. Where it's not a case of you suddenly being pushed to number 8, or you may bowl 1 over or 2 overs instead of 4. You got to be 3 and bat in the top 5 or 6, to then qualify. But if you're not doing that, then this impact player will. So those kind of players you'll see getting fewer and fewer with this loop.
Good. I'm glad you finally laid down the authority. Like the Supreme Court lays down a law and no challenging it. This is what bits and pieces means. Just sending this to Manjrekar so that we don't have any other problems going forward. What a great question. The handle is only great. It's called Ravi _ Sachinist.
Yes.
What a handle, man. Ravi Sachinist asks, if given the opportunity to coach MI or CSK, which one will he accept? What an offer.
Both.
Can't do both.
Yeah,
Both-
depending,
both offers come.
Yeah, both.
Both same number.
So no, same nahi. The ropada has to be little higher on one side. The scale has to go thoda aage. एक तरफ. साफ बात है यार.
Yeah, even I agree. You'll make me something over there if you get a job.
Yeah, what? You're out there for charity or what?
Fine. Don't. We'll carry on then. What else? Dheeraj, how is it that all analysts sound so sane while in the commentary box with the suggestions they give, but they don't end up taking those decisions once they become management?
है ना. बोलना बहुत आसान है भाई. हाँ. जब करना पड़ता है फिर अलग बात है.
Oh my God. Yeah, but you see that.
Of course I see that.
It's
I
very
was
easy.
there.
Yeah.
So either you would have seen me, or I would have seen myself in the mirror.
What stops you at that point though? When you come out, the game looks so much easier to call, clearer.
Not
No?
really. You got to be thinking before you say something that, what if you're in that position? Otherwise it's easier said than done.
All right, fair enough. Prasad Vakte Patil, with whom do you identify more with as a player or resemble? Ravindra Jadeja, Akshar Patel, Krunal Pandya, Washington Sundar.
Yeah, this is a tough one.
Style, play bowling style, batting style.
Age of 18, my physique was like Akshar Patel. Lanky, thin, very, very similar. Means, who's the best batsman of the lot?
I would say, you'd say Jaddu, no? Jaddu's the best batsman.
And as my career progressed, batting took over, so I would say more the Jadeja kind. And amongst these all-rounders, who would be able to bat in the top 5? I'm trying to think. Top 5 or 4.
Well, Washi's not a bad bet.
Washi, I think, has a very bright future. I think that guy has opened at junior level, so he can bat up the order. And to be honest, he's got tremendous potential. I mean, amongst all the youngsters, I feel this guy has the most potential to be a proper all-rounder for a decade.
And finally, Harshit Vijay. Which Bollywood hero do you want to play you in your biopic?
I mean, you need qualities, right?
I'll give you an idea. Pick a young, like you did now, pick a young sort of hero to play you in your youth, and pick like a seasoned hero. You can do the whole life. It can be a web
I think
series.
it's a sportsman, right? There's flamboyance, there's
There's a lot more, no?
There's plenty more, yeah. But when you take that as a package, I think Akshay might not be a bad one because he's from my school as well. He's from Bosco's. Who else do you think? Because you guys watch a lot more.
I am thinking, let me think. So I really like Ranveer's portrayal of Kapoor.
Ranveer,
but now I can't have
yeah,
Ranveer
he's
play
already
again.
done that.
I
Yeah.
can't have Kapoor. So I'm thinking who else can match Ravi. So the thing with you were charming when you were young.
So what do you mean when you were young?
When you were younger. You don't let me finish only.
Yeah.
So I think charming players. So I think Ranveer would be very charming. Good looking. Hrithik Roshan, game, set and match. Though I believe his cricket is not.
No.
He'll have to work very hard. That first scene in Kabhi Khushi Kabhi Gum, terrible.
No, we'll send Balu to him. Sandhu trained that entire crew of the 83. So Sandhu is not just a coach that coaches young players to make it to the Ranji Trophy.
Yeah.
He knows how to coach actors to act cricket.
I love it.
That's why we call him Ball Winder Singh Sandhu.
Ball winder. Fantastic.
Yeah.
This has been great. What a first start to Ravi with me, Raunak. And before I leave, you know what this is?
What's this?
This is a gift.
This Sambit
You
Bal
don't-
kid bag.
Sambit Bal kit bag is just for it doesn't go in the wrong office.
Then-
This is a kit bag given by a former Indian great. I want you to guess who it is. I'll give you a hint.
No, this has been given to whom?
Sambit Bal is a gift. He didn't.
No.
he
Then
didn't
this has
story
to
it.
be Yajuvendra Singh or Sanjay Manjrekar.
No, think bigger.
Those are his buddies.
Think
yeah?
higher. See Britannia over here. Who do you think gave him
Oh,
this?
this
gift?
Britannia.
He's one of your.
Rahul? Dravid?
How do you think he became coach?
Rahul used to use Britannia.
Yeah. What
The
gift?
50-50.
I love it. Bats look a little smaller suddenly. No, even Dravid's bat. When are you giving me a gift? Give me something. Rahul Dravid gave Sambit Bal something. You should give me a
मैं
gift.
देखता हूँ सोच के देखता हूँ क्योंकि तू अलग चीज है तेरे को है ना सोच के देना पड़ेगा कुछ yeah.
Next episode, I want something. Till then, you can keep pink ball, white ball.
नहीं मेरे को
One more
क्यों
thing
सोच
for-
के देना है you're a bit of a smart ass you know so I have to सोच के तेरे को देना है कुछ
Takes one to know one.
absolutely
Ravi Shastri. Thank you
Pleasure.
very much.